You begin your life inside an egg buried beneath a mound of rotting leaves in the steaming forests of South Asia. The world above hums with heat. The scent of wet earth seeps through your fragile shell, and danger lurks even before you take your first breath. You are a king cobra, the longest venomous snake on earth. But right now, you are only a trembling coil in the dark, hardly the size of a pencil. Your egg lies among 20 others, carefully hidden away by a mother who, in a rare gesture among snakes, chose to guard them for months. Watchful presence has been the fortress of your beginning, yet she will leave before you hatch, because you must face life alone. When you push through the eggshell with a tiny egg tooth, the world greets you with a blast of heat and smells so intense that your forked tongue quivers. You emerge glossy, patterned in bold black and pale yellow, a miniature version of the majestic adult you might one day become. Around you, shadows promise danger, but also a promise. Survive, and you will rule your patch of jungle. Your first day in the open is a trial by terror. You do not know how to hunt yet, but hunger scratches at you. You slither clumsily through the leaf litter, your belly scales catching on rough bark and twigs. There is no parent here to guide you. Cobras are solitary creatures. All you have are instincts, ancient scripts written into every muscle and nerve of your body. Your tongue becomes your eyes. Flick, flick. It samples the air, pulling invisible molecules toward an organ in the roof of your mouth called the Jacobson's organ. With each flick, you sketch a chemical map of your surroundings. It tells you of the ants that crawl over the leaves, the frog that croaks from a wet patch of soil, and the sharp, musky scent of a mongoose, a creature you must fear even more than hunger. You are small and shiny, and that makes you a target. Raptors circle overhead. Monitor lizards, jungle cats, even larger snakes would happily swallow you whole. The first rule of being a baby king cobra is to be invisible. Your scales blend with the mottled floor, and you freeze when a shadow passes, trusting stillness as your best shield. Your siblings scatter across the forest. There is no bond between you. You might never see them again. In these early days, you begin to taste the rhythm of life. You drink droplets that cling to leaves. You test your muscles, learning the elegant ripple that moves you forward faster and quieter than anything with legs. Each day without becoming someone's meal is an achievement. You are tiny, but your venom, even at this age, is potent. It is a defense, not yet a tool. If cornered, you flare the little hood that your species is famous for, trying to look fierce. Most predators laugh at such a display. For now, your survival depends on hiding, not fighting. The forest hums around you, indifferent to your fragile existence. You keep moving, always tasting, always listening, a living ribbon of hunger and curiosity. On your third day, hunger wins over fear. You have been living on the last of your yolk reserves, but they are gone now. It is time to hunt. Your first target is not the noble prey of adult king cobras. You are still far from taking on another snake. Again, you focus on a frog. Its smell is sharp and wet, and every flick of your tongue confirms its location. You approach as you were born to do, silently, muscles coiling under your scales. Your eyes, which sense motion more than detail, lock on the twitch of a limb. Every inch you move is deliberate. The frog leaps. You strike. Your tiny fangs, short but sharp, sink into its soft skin. For a moment you almost panic. The creature kicks and writhes, and for an instant you wonder if this was a mistake. But your venom works fast. Proteins flood into the frog's body, shutting down nerves and muscles, and soon it lies still. Triumph floods your small body. The frog is yours. Eating it, however, is another challenge. You unhinge your jaws, and with the help of backward-pointing teeth, begin the slow task of pulling your meal in whole. Your head stretches impossibly wide, skin sliding, ribs flexing outward like a living accordion. The meal seems to last forever. Inside your slender body, the frog begins its final journey. Powerful digestive enzymes and acids dissolve flesh and bone. Your metabolism shifts into a higher gear. A single meal like this can fuel you for days, sometimes even weeks, because snakes are masters of efficiency. They can slow their bodies almost to stillness when food is scarce, then ignite every cell when a meal arrives. As the bulge of the frog slides into your stomach, satisfaction mingles with exhaustion. curl beneath a log to rest. Hunting has taught you a fundamental lesson. Your venom is not just for defense. It is your key to life. You drift into a heavy, dreamless sleep. Around you, the forest continues to bustle with life and danger, but for now, you are full. In this small victory, you have crossed an invisible line. You are no longer only a hatchling. You're a hunter. The days ahead will demand more of you, but for tonight, you savor the simple fact that you are alive and finally not hungry. The weeks after your first meal are a blur of growth. Your once delicate body thickens, your skin grows tight, and soon you feel a strange itch from within. The surface of your scales dulls to a bluish haze. You are about to shed. Molting is uncomfortable. Your old skin has become a prison, and you can hardly see through the milky film that clouds your eyes. Vulnerability presses on you like a weight, and you hide under a pile of leaves, still and waiting. At last, the moment comes. You push your head against rough bark, and the old skin splits like parchment. With slow, wriggling persistence, you slide free, leaving behind a perfect ghost of yourself. The air feels cool and sharp on your fresh scales, and your senses sharpen. You grow fast. Within a year, you are longer than most grown snakes. Your muscles coil with more precision. Your venom glands swell with potency, and the world begins to notice you. But the forest notices too. Larger predators still hunt you. A civet once lunges from the dark, and you escape by the barest flicker of a second, retreating into a tangle of roots. You meet other snakes as well, some harmless, some dangerous. You learn that the best fight is the one avoided. By now, your instincts drive you toward bigger prey. The scent of another snake sends ripples of excitement through you. King Cobras, unlike most snakes, are specialists. Your kind feeds mainly on other serpents, a risky but rewarding habit. With your growing size and venom, this diet begins to open to you. Your body, once fragile, is now a coiled spring, and each shedding feels like an upgrade. You are becoming the king you were meant to be. Then comes the dry season, and with it, a test that nearly breaks you. Waterholes shrink, frogs disappear, small snakes grow scarce. The once rich forest becomes a maze of empty promises. You lose weight. Days pass without a single successful strike. Your muscles slow. Your flickering tongue moves with less enthusiasm, tasting only dust. Snakes can survive long stretches without food by slowing their bodies almost to a standstill. But even so, there are limits. One day, desperate, you strike at a rat snake. It is almost as long as you are. You bite and hold, your venom pouring into its body, but it thrashes wildly. It bites back, scoring your side with its teeth. Both of you roll in the leaves in a tangle of bodies, and for a moment, death feels close. At last, your venom claims its victory. You lie still, panting, as your prey finally stops moving. The fight has left you bleeding and dizzy, but there is food. With slow determination, you swallow the meal. This single act keeps you alive. For weeks afterward, you recover in silence, tucked away in a hollow log. The wound heals, the season changes. Your body, remarkably resilient, begins to fill out again. You have learned an important truth. Survival for a king cobra is a narrow thread, and even kings bleed. By the time you reach 4 years of age, your body is a masterpiece of strength. You're now nearly 4 meters long. Your hood, when spread, casts an imposing shadow. Your scales gleam with earthy browns and olives, blending perfectly with bamboo groves. Adulthood brings new instincts. It is no longer enough to eat and survive. You are driven to claim a territory, a stretch of forest where you alone may hunt. When you sense another male encroaching, the air bristles with warning. One day, the intruder appears. He is long and strong, just like you. There are no venomous strikes in this battle. King Cobras, when fighting for dominance, wrestle. The two of you rise high, bodies towering above the ground, hoods wide. You push and coil around each other, each trying to slam the other to the earth. The fight is silent, except for the hiss of scales sliding against scales. It lasts for an hour, maybe more, until at last you succeed in forcing him down. He retreats, defeated, and the forest once again belongs to you. In the following months, you become more alert to scents, carried on the wind. Somewhere in your territory, a female's pheromones drift like a promise. You will seek her soon, but for now, you bask in your power. You are no longer prey. Your venom can kill an elephant, though you would never waste it so recklessly. You are a ruler of your stretch of jungle, patient and deliberate. Yet your life is not free from danger. Humans cut paths through the trees, and their curiosity and fear are unpredictable. You avoid them, just as you once avoided mongooses, knowing that even kings must stay unseen to survive. The warm season stirs something older than thought inside you. The scent of a female drifts through the understory, a silent call that you cannot ignore. For days you follow it, weaving between trees, sliding through tall grass, always flicking your tongue to keep her trail alive. At last you find her, a magnificent creature, almost as long as you are. She notices you and raises her head, hood flared in wary caution. Courtship for king cobras is less about charm and more about patience. You approach slowly, making no sudden moves, and when you are close enough, you nudge her gently with your snout. There does not flee. For several days you stay near her, never straying far. When she accepts you, the two of you intertwine, your long bodies coiled in a slow, silent dance. Life begins again here, with no fanfare, only the quiet rustle of leaves and the weight of instinct. After mating, she begins the great work of motherhood. King cobras are rare among snakes, in that they build a nest. She gathers fallen leaves, pushing them into a mound with the strength of her coils. Inside this mound, she will lay her eggs, as your own mother once did for you. You remain nearby for a while, a watchful sentinel. But soon your paths separate. She guards the eggs alone, fasting for months, while her body shields them. When the time comes, she will leave, and her young will hatch into the same uncertain world that once greeted you. The cycle moves forward. In her future clutch, one of them may live long enough to rise as you have. Seasons pass. You have grown to your full strength, nearly 5.5 meters of muscle and instinct, a presence that demands respect from every creature in your domain. You have survived birds of prey, cunning mongooses, hunger, drought, and the invisible dangers of the jungle. Now, as you bask beneath a warm patch of filtered sunlight, your thoughts, if they could be called that, settle on the rhythm that has defined your life. Every stage has been shaped by hunger and the need to avoid becoming a meal yourself. From the moment you cracked through that thin eggshell, the forest has taught you lessons without words. You learn to hide, to hunt, to strike with precision. You learn to endure seasons of plenty and seasons of silence. And now with your own offspring somewhere out there, you have contributed to the story that began long before you. As evening comes, you slip from your basking place and move through your kingdom. Bamboo stalks creak overhead, and the ground is thick with fallen leaves. The forest holds dangers still, but you no longer move as a frightened hatchling. Each movement is smooth, deliberate, confident. The hood that once was just a bluff now spreads wide with authority when anything threatens you. In this vast forest, you are both hunter and guardian of balance. The snakes you hunt keep you alive, and in turn, you shape the population of the forest. You are not cruel, just efficient, an instrument of the natural order. When you pass a fallen log, the scent of a mongoose lingers, and the old memories return. There was a time when that smell meant terror. Now you give it a cautious glance and keep moving. Even a king never forgets humility. One day the cycle will end. A predator, a human, or the slow weight of age will take you. When that day comes, the forest will not mourn. It never does. But somewhere, a new generation of king cobras will be learning to flick their tongues and read the air, just as you once did. Light descends over your patch of jungle. The air cools, and insects hum like a lullaby. You coil yourself in a sheltered place, your body a long, perfect loop. Tomorrow, there will be more hunting, more exploring, more of the endless work of being alive. In the soft hush of the night, there is only one truth left. Life in the jungle is not about being a king. It is about moving forward, one tongue flick at a time, leaving behind the skin of yesterday and always. I was keeping your senses open for what comes next. And so your story, like the heartbeat of the forest, continues without pause.